I'm hearing a lot of people discuss the situation with Carmelo and Anthony, saying that Carmelo saying that he would choose the three gold medals over an NBA championship. They're saying that that's cap and everything else. I'll tell you why that's not cap. Carmelo Anthony has sat back and realized that a lot of people that win championships don't really get remembered for winning championships. And they don't get really treated like champions unless you're in the conversation as far as talking about the GOATs or anything like that. A lot of guys who won championship with Michael Jordan don't really get a lot of praise when it comes to basketball. Just being honest. I've heard people talk about Horace Grant like he was just a trash basketball player. I don't even want to get into Scottie Pippen, but if we go back and look at the history, they don't treat anybody from the Bulls really with any kind of respect. Steve Kerr gets more respect than Scottie Pippen these days. Like, if we want to just talk about that, like, let's just keep it 1,000. Steve Kerr was a bench rider who jumped in the game from here and there. He'll hit a decent shot, and he has some three pointers. Trust me, I was a huge Steve Kerr fan back in the day, but he wasn't that guy like that. Not to the point where they needed him to win a championship. Michael Jordan was winning championships before he even came around. He ain't nothing but a Vujicic from the LA Lakers that Kobe had. That's all he was. But if you think about it now, Steve Kerr's name is way bigger than Scottie Pippen because when people, the media, they put out certain things like, oh, well, Scottie thought he was on Michael Jordan level. Oh, man, he thought he was on Michael Jordan level. Oh, he a bum. Da, 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 da. Even though he ain't started winning championships till Michael Jordan came around. That's like Carmelo and that's like D Wade saying, "Hey man, shoot, until I came around, LeBron wasn't really winning no championships like that. Ain't nobody finna question D Wade skill set, but for some reason, when it comes to certain guys like Michael Jordan, you can't question anything like that. So when Carmelo Anthony looks at that, he's like, bro, a lot of these guys don't really get credit for championships. Even when Kobe won his with Shaq, they was like, man, we got to see Kobe win one by himself. Like, there's no fun in winning championships like that in the NBA. It's not. Look at Kevin Durant. He's won a championship, and he looks at it, he's like, man, it wasn't really no big deal like that. It wasn't as big of a deal as I thought it would. He probably thinks it is now because he has won and everything else, but as time goes on, he knows that, man, these people ain't going to really give you the type of credit that you deserve when it comes to basketball. Now everything is based off championships. And that's what Carmelo is looking at. He's like, does anybody think about Charles Barkley not having a ring that much? Not really. Because when you listen to people talk about guys who have rings, they talk about them the same way they talk about Charles Barkley. So right now, Carmelo Anthony without a ring, he's not getting less respect or something like that. Carmelo Anthony could have easily went to the Miami Heat or something and got a ring. So people talking like Carmelo Anthony couldn't hop on the super team and actually got a ring. And people will say, well, he was playing with the Knicks. Yeah, he got traded to the Knicks. Yeah, he forced that trade, but he got traded to the Knicks. And that's where he ended up at. But he could have ended up a lot of different places. But that's where he got traded to. But to make it seem like he's just out here uh, not a good player because he didn't get a championship ring, man, it's a lot of dudes that got championships, man. Like I said, Kobe got a ring with Shaq, and people still turn around and say, well, Kobe got to get one on his own. So they ain't even all that dribbling and shooting that Kobe was doing all the years with Shaq. It didn't mean nothing. So when people start to minimize a championship you already have because they need you to see you do it a certain way. So even if Carmelo Anthony would have got a championship a certain way, let's just say he wouldn't have been a lead scorer, but he was the lead playmaker on his team. They would have said, "Well, you're not the lead scorer. You're supposed to be a scorer. I thought people said you was one of the best scorers of all time. Why are you letting guys like Amari Stoudemire and all these other guys lead in scoring, but you're supposed to be one of the best scorers of all time?" So you can't win a championship in scoring. So what? You gonna do what Scottie Pippen did? Cause and just you already know how they talk about Scottie. So if Scottie Pippen can get respect with 6 rings, so we giving all that credit to Michael Jordan, all the 6 rings that Michael Jordan ain't have no ring until Scottie popped up. All them 6 rings that Scottie Pippen got, he still get disrespected. But for some reason, fans will sit here and say, "Oh yeah, championships do matter over the ring." Man, get out of here. No, over the medals. Get out of here. Out of here. Fans be lying about stuff like that. That's the biggest lie ever when it comes to NBA fans. Y'all don't respect nobody outside the star players that win championships. That's when y'all start counting how many rings somebody got. None of them guys who's on the bench, even Iguodala, don't get a lot of credit for that championship. Especially if he wouldn't have got the MVP, he wouldn't have got a lot of credit for them championships. Iguodala played a huge part with those championships with the Warriors before he left the Nuggets. So look at Klay Thompson. He just had to leave because he wasn't getting enough respect. And then the guy that Draymond, who everybody say he's an integral part of what the Warriors been doing. They've been getting championships ever since he showed up. He don't get respect. So what are we talking about as far as championship rings? Draymond got a ring and they call him triple singles. They act like Draymond's trash. But the first thing somebody say is, man, Steph Curry had more rings than Draymond when he got kicked out the game. Man, them rings don't matter, man. That's cap.